The other mother, or the beldam, is the main antagonist of Coraline. She lives in a parallel world hidden behind a small door in the wall, a world designed to look like Coraline's own life, only better. She creates this copy to lure children in. At first, Coraline finds a version of her life filled with warmth, attention, and joy. Her other parents cook her favorite meals, play games, and tell her how special she is. But it's all bait. The other mother's true form is a skeletal, spider-like creature. She feeds on children's souls, slowly draining them over time. Once a child agrees to stay forever, she makes them sew black buttons over their eyes, symbolizing the final surrender of their identity. When they've given her everything, she discards their bodies and traps their ghosts in the walls. She doesn't scream or threaten. She smiles, waits, and manipulates. She gives you exactly what you want, until you realize it's a trap with no way out. She doesn't kill to conquer. She kills to consume. The other mother is a predator in the shape of love.
I'm your other mother, silly.
Ko is an ancient spirit who lives in the deep caves of the spirit world, a centipede-like creature older than recorded history, known only through whispers and legend. His title isn't a metaphor. Ko steals faces. If a person shows any emotion in his presence, a smile, a flinch, a single flicker of fear, he rips their face off instantly and without struggle. The stolen faces remain frozen in his body, worn like masks, displayed like trophies. His most famous victim was the lover of the moon spirit, an unnamed mortal who blinked once in Ko's presence and was erased from history. Thousands of years later, when Aang, the Avatar, enters Ko's lair, he's told only one thing: show no emotion. There is no battle, no chase. Ko doesn't hunt. He waits, calm, intelligent, and utterly alien. Every word he speaks is laced with threat. Every shift of his face, a reminder that he has many more to choose from. He doesn't need chaos or control. He collects, not because he wants to be feared, but because he enjoys being remembered. He's not a spirit of death or destruction. He's a spirit of silence, the kind that comes just after a scream.
My old friend the Avatar.
Hexus is the main antagonist of Ferngully. He is an ancient spirit of destruction, sealed away inside a tree after nearly annihilating the rainforest centuries ago. When humans begin clear-cutting the forest, Hexus is accidentally released. He starts as a mass of oily sludge, but as the pollution spreads, he feeds on it, evolving into a skeleton wreathed in smoke and flame. He infiltrates a logging machine and drives it straight into the heart of the forest. Hexus doesn't want to rule the world. He wants to rot it. There is no redemption, no motive, no logic. Hexus exists purely to consume, burn, and spread. He isn't just a villain. He's extinction made sentient. Clay Puppington is the father of Oral, the young protagonist of Moral Oral. In a town obsessed with religious tradition and moral purity, Clay presents himself as a model citizen, calm, composed, and devout. Behind closed doors, he is emotionally vacant, manipulative, and abusive. He controls his family through fear, shame, and gaslighting. He mocks his wife, punishes his son with silence, and justifies it all as discipline. When Oral seeks guidance, Clay answers in cryptic cruelty or long, alcohol-soaked lectures. He doesn't explode. He erodes. Clay drinks during quiet time, a ritual of isolation passed down by his own abusive father. And when given the chance to break the cycle, he refuses. He clings to tradition, even if it breaks the people around him. What makes Clay terrifying isn't what he does in anger. It's what he does with a straight face. There's no violence, no shouting, just a slow, methodical draining of love, hope, and self-worth. Clay isn't a monster. He's something worse, a parent who teaches you to hate yourself in God's name.
People know who you are by the words you use, not the things you do.
Rasputin was once a trusted figure at the Russian royal court, until he sold his soul for the power to destroy the Romanov family. Using dark magic, he cast a death curse on the entire bloodline, triggering the Russian Revolution and the collapse of the monarchy. But when young Anastasia escaped the massacre, the curse went unfinished. Rasputin's body died, but his soul remained trapped in limbo, half-decayed, rotting, and fueled by hatred. Years later, he returns, dragging himself out of the underworld to complete the curse. His body falls apart as he walks, He loses fingers, peels off skin, and commands an army of green, skeletal spirits. He doesn't want revenge. He wants total erasure. One missing Romanov has kept his soul from resting, and he'll dismantle reality if that's what it takes to fix it. Rasputin is what happens when obsession outlives the body. A corpse held together by rage, animated by a vendetta so powerful that not even death could kill it. He isn't seeking peace, only a final, absolute silence.
I banish you with a curse.
Judge Claude Frollo is the main antagonist of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He serves as the minister of justice in Paris, wielding religion and law as weapons of control. He begins by chasing a Romani woman through the streets and killing her on the steps of a cathedral. When he discovers she was carrying a baby, deformed and crying, he tries to drown the child in a well. A priest stops him, and Frollo raises the boy out of guilt and fear of damnation. That boy becomes Quasimodo, the bell ringer Frollo keeps imprisoned in the tower his entire life. Frollo believes himself righteous. He burns houses to purge sin. He manipulates the innocent while blaming them for tempting him. When he becomes obsessed with Esmeralda, he sings to the Virgin Mary, begging to be saved, unless she gives herself to him, in which case he'll burn her alive. His most terrifying quality is that he doesn't see himself as evil. He believes every monstrous act is a divine duty, every murder, every manipulation, a sacred command. Frollo is proof that evil doesn't need horns or claws. Sometimes it wears a robe.
A lesson needs to be learned.
King Andrias is the ruler of Amphibia, a colorful world filled with frogs, toads, and newts. At first, he appears gentle, jovial, and eccentric. He welcomes 3 human girls into his palace, treats them as honored guests, and earns their trust. But Andrias is not a king. He's a relic of a lost empire. 1,000 years ago, Andrias led a campaign to conquer dimensions using ancient technology powered by a magic box. When his closest friends turned against him to stop the destruction, they sealed the box away. Andrias waited, bitter and broken, for a chance to reclaim it. He manipulates one of the girls, Marcy, into helping him retrieve the box, then reveals his true form, towering, armored, and merciless. He launches an invasion of Earth. He doesn't hesitate to betray, attack, or kill those who once loved him. He calls it destiny. He calls it duty. But everything he does is rooted in grief and rage. Andrias isn't a tyrant by nature. He was made into one by time, loss, and the belief that if he can't have peace, no one can.
That's the thing about friends, isn't it? The more you love them, the more it hurts when they go.
The beast from over the garden wall is the unseen terror of the unknown, a vast, liminal forest where lost souls wander and time feels broken. He is never fully explained. That's the point. He appears only in shadows, whispers, and warnings. He sings in the woods at night. He stalks travelers who lose hope. When people become too tired or afraid to continue, they begin to turn into trees, called Edelwood. The beast harvests those trees to feed the lantern he carries. A lantern that, according to legend, contains his soul. But the truth is worse. The lantern doesn't hold the beast's soul. It holds his victims. A soul he tricked into tending the flame forever. He uses fear, manipulation, and false promises to make others carry his burden for him. The beast doesn't kill. He convinces you to die slowly while thanking him for the privilege. And when you finally forget who you were, when the last light in your eyes fades, that's when you become useful to him. He doesn't chase. He waits for the woods to do it for him.
Yes, yes, all hope will soon be lost.